What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far the biggest privilege, honestly. This is a high school mate of mine, Robby Yost Malone. This is my guy. It's awesome to get caught back up with him. Like we were just talking before we started this show. It's crazy how things kind of come full circle. You graduate high school, you kind of lose that disconnect. You come back and we're talking sports. So, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I can tell you this probably won't be the first and won't be the last. So, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm selling insurance and going to baseball games and getting on TikTok, and somehow my TikTok blew up a little bit. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's what's up, man. That's really cool. You told me you had a TikTok. I'm still a rookie when it comes to TikTok. I'm trying to figure the game out. My first one I put out, I think, had 1 view. I put the second one out, it gets over like 10,000. I'm like, this is incredible. So, yeah, still pulling rookie numbers though. But man, one of the biggest reasons why I also wanted to talk to you is baseball. I mean, you and I did talk a lot of baseball when we were in high school. I know that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how did you get such a passion for baseball and kind of let everybody know like what's been going on?
So man, over the last couple of years, I don't know if you know Zach Hampel or not, but
I
he's an infamous ball hawk.
Oh, okay.
And so Zach catches baseballs at all 30 stadiums. He will travel to like London, Mexico, anywhere baseball's played, he'll travel. And he really got me started in a hobby of catching baseballs and just kind of getting closer to the game. And so over the last like 3 to 4 years, it's just been a very fun hobby to go to different stadiums and catch baseballs. And so that's really how I got into it.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. So you from this hobby that you've kind of developed, you kind of know like good spots to really kind of post up
Mm-hmm.
then and what good seats to get and everything like that then, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could tell you where the foul balls hit, what batter is going where the home runs are going to go, and where to sit at Royal Stadium for home runs. And, the bullpens really get a lot of the home runs at Royal Stadium, and that's a lot of other places as well. So, you look into the analytics. You're like, you go to ESPN Stat Track, like, hey, Hunter Dozier hits home runs over here. Salvador Perez hits a lot of opposite field home runs. You know, foul ball wise, okay, Mondesi is a perfect guy. I mean, I've caught like 4 foul balls off that guy because
Yeah.
he always is swinging. So it just really depends on the player, the pitcher. I mean, you look at all those stats that people necessarily don't look at.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible, man. That's so cool because I mean, players are like there's staffs out there that study the analytics because they have to know it for baseball, and you're doing it because of an amazing hobby, man. That's so cool. Now, obviously, you've talked about the Royals in this scenario. Obviously we're Royals. I'm a Royals fan. I know you're a decent Royals fan. What are you thinking about the team right now? Kind of we'll talk a little bit about actual baseball and then we'll dive into the entire hobby, man. And I'm looking forward to that because just a minimum amount of time that we've talked, it makes me smile ear to ear. So this part may not be so exciting because I know the Royals are just not doing that great. So let's hear your thoughts, man. Lay it out there.
I mean, I feel the starting pitching number one is this non-existent. I mean, is this not there? I mean, it seems like the first month they were doing fantastic, and then it just fell apart. And I'm like, what is going on? It's the starting pitching number one. I mean, Brady Singer, you saw today he pitched
Yeah.
3 innings. I mean, then Coar, I think it was Coar, he has a 36 ERA now.
Yeah.
I mean, Keller, he was supposed to be your ace, and I mean, opening day he gave up 5 runs in the first inning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going? And then the bullpen, I'm like, okay, we bring back Wade Davis. Okay, let's bring back the World Series run, bring back Holland. I mean, Escobar's in AAA. I'm like, and then they got Dyson. I'm just like, oh my gosh, let's bring back the whole team. So I mean, just it seems like it's just a higher AAA squad that's on the
Yeah.
field. I mean, first game against the Rangers, you're like, okay, this team can really do something. And then throughout the whole time, and then you got injuries, and it seems like what's going on in the minor league system is not translating well to the major league system. So I think that's one big problem with the Royals and most of the teams that are just losing right now.
For sure, man. That's a big portion of what I've been seeing as of late is really like, a lot of complaints people have from a fan perspective is the fact that we as an organization just can't seem to figure out how to develop young pitching. I mean, it stems all the way back to, I mean, for a long time. I mean, Hochaver obviously was drafted very young, worked through the organization, and just kind of fizzled out. And then obviously it leads into where we're currently at, and we're seeing, some of these studs come up. And a perfect example is I can't remember his name exactly, but Toronto called up one of their stud young aces, called him up, and he goes out and shoves against the Yankees. We call up our young guys, and yeah, granted, they go against, not necessarily the Yankees, but some good competition.
Mm-hmm.
And Coar obviously can't get out of a first inning situation in back to back starts. Daniel Lynch, I think, did a lot better than what Coar did, but
yeah, he did.
But just not to the extent that we're hoping for just as of yet. And so that is definitely a big mark I feel that is kind of exposed to this organization is the fact that we just can't develop starting pitching. And that's something I kind of worry a little bit about too with Asa Lacy, because obviously we drafted him. And then who knows what we do with the draft this year. There's a good chance that we've heard Kamar Rocker could come to the Royals, which I would probably pass out. But I think that there's just a lot of excitement, and then they get here and it's just like, oh. So I get exactly what you're saying with the starting pitching, man. Now let me ask you this: do you think any of it has to do with Cal Eldridge, obviously the pitching coach? Do you think he just is at the end of his time tenure with the Royals? Do you think he just doesn't have it anymore? Or do you think he ever even had it?
I mean, it's the same argument as with the batting coach and the catching coach. I mean, how much effects can those guys really have?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same debate with I think it was Kevin Seitzer and how they were batting and George Brett. Then they changed it to George Brett. All of a sudden they did better. I mean, the coaches can only do so much.
Yeah.
The players need to perform. They're major league players. They're getting paid the major league salary. They need to perform.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we have this whole sticky tax situation. Exactly. And now, now the spin rate's gone down and, now the ball's getting hit. But I just think if you're not performing and you just don't have the skills, it doesn't matter who's coaching.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, I think there is to some extent where you just need to refresh and maybe get someone new in there. And it's not necessarily that they have a whole new algorithm or how they want to approach the pitching coaching position. But I think sometimes it's nice to just get that fresh, maybe attitude, but also just a new personality in there. Because, when things aren't going well, you tend to kind of get methodical. You get down and you're like, it just continues to be a rut and a trend. So I could envision that they will move on from Cal first, just because, like you said, that is a sore thumb. Obviously, we get Mondesi back today, and the hitting didn't look too bad. I think we lost 6-5, but obviously that was due to, in fact, that Holland couldn't get out of a situation, gives up a 3-run shot, and then our back end of the bullpen just had one of those days. Brent's, rarely gives up a stuff. He gave up a run, and then also Stalmont. So we get swept by the Tigers, man. And, it's something we've talked about a lot on this channel is, going into the month of July, it would be nice to at least kind of have our head above water, because the month of July really kind of loosens up on the schedule, and it'll be nice to see if we can make a little bit of a run. But if we're getting swept by the Tigers, man, I don't really, my faith meter goes way down. So,
oh yeah, we're about to be third, and the Twins are just abysmal.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost to them because I went to a couple of and we lost to them. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, the Twins are just a bad team. And I went up there. I went to Minnesota and they played the A's, and Miguel Sano luckily hit a home run to the overhang. And I mean, the wind took it. It was just one of those ones. But the Twins are just an abysmal team, and we're losing to them. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's just bad. It's just bad baseball around.
For sure, man. So with that being said, we'll transition a little bit to, I know you go to a lot of games. And so I know you kind of want to talk a little bit about fan experience, and I think that rightfully so. I mean, that's, you get a lot of baseballs, a lot of autographs. We're going to talk about that, but kind of tell us about the fan experience and, what you've experienced from pre-pandemic to a little bit of the pandemic to now where we're currently at and what maybe some things you want to talk about.
Oh man, we don't have enough time. But anyways, long story short, so the Royals used to have batting practice beforehand. You
Uh-huh.
could buy a special ticket for $12. You can get in at 4:30. I was always the first fan there whenever I could go when I was off of work and get there for Royals. It was called Early Bird.
Hmm.
And $12, you can walk in. You had from left field before you can get to the outfield, the Sonic Slam seats, all the way over to the dugout concourse to first base. You have that whole part. And so you walk in, they're hitting, players are throwing balls to you. You can go down by the dugout. You can walk through the Diamond Club, get autographs. It was just the best experience. If they ever bring it back, it was. I'm kind of foreshadowing, but if they ever bring it back, I would say anybody and everybody, if you can leave and go get off for work early and go up 4:30, go. You will catch 10 to 12 baseballs. You will get so many autographs. You'll get to meet the players at a different level because they're not playing. You
Yeah.
hear music going. There's no umpire out there. You get to watch them do bunting drills and fielding drills. And I mean, it's just overall just a blast. And
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. And then obviously the pandemic hits and we didn't get to go to any games, but I caught 30 of these last year at the spring training alternate site, which is
Yeah.
at T-Bone Stadium. And so it was kind of Kansas City's unkept secret. I mean, they would hit every day around 2:30 and balls were just flying out there. I caught 20 one day. And I mean, I caught so many, I gave them away. I gave them like, I did a contest on TikTok and gave one away. And so, I mean, I caught so many, it was just crazy. But,
Yeah.
and then now they're only letting us in an hour before the game. And so you might catch the visiting team for 10 minutes. And so it makes it very hard to catch baseballs. And so then I'm a 32-year-old guy and you have a, 5-year-old kid. It's kind of hard to get them to throw you a ball sometimes, but I got the visiting team stuff on and I stand away from people and I'm always trying to be the first one in there. And so it's a lot tougher now than what it was, pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Do you think that so are you thinking that they did away with the pregame aspect just because of the pandemic and maybe it'll come back next year? Or do you think that they've maybe just completely did away with it?
I mean, every time they send me a survey, I put bring back early BP
Yeah.
because it was just a great experience. People loved it, and I mean, they can say it's the pandemic, and we got new owners now, so I don't know if John Sherman wants to do that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was a blast. I mean, it was the best thing ever. That people come all around like ball hawks that we're called come all around just for the Royals early bird ticket because it was just that much fun.
Yeah, and I mean, from an overall baseball perspective, I mean, you would want that because if let's say Bobby Witt comes up
Mm-hmm.
and is out there taking BP, and you catch a ball from Bobby Witt and find a way to get it autographed by him, I mean, that's an incredible catch right there, and that's just stalking Royals. That's not any other team that is in as a visitor, and maybe they have a young prospect that's coming up and is out there hitting nukes to left field, and you're able to get it and I completely agree, and I think they should bring that back because that is a fan experience. I mean, that's why you go out there and people go out there, and yeah, that most definitely. So I'm glad you brought that up, and I think that's very interesting for sure. So now let's kind of lead into how some of the people that you've gotten balls from, how you've approached them. Kind of some of that experience because I think that this is where it gets really exciting from your perspective, and maybe some things that if there are people out there looking to be a ball hawk, they can maybe look into that.
So, I mean, it helps if you're a cute little kid, definitely. If I knew this, 25 years ago, I would be way more dangerous. But I mean, know the player's name. You have your smartphone, look up the player's name and I say, hey, ball.
Yeah.
If you ever want, you'll once you go to a game, you'll start paying attention to it. You're gonna be like, you're gonna hear, hey, ball, or hey, you, ball. You're gonna hear that, and it gets so annoying. Look up their name, their jerseys, their names are on the MLB app. Look it up.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Mr. So and so, could you please toss me up a baseball? Learn the coach's name. Something.
Yeah.
Stan, if you're older like me, stand kind of away from everybody. If a ball goes over there, you say, hey, Mr. So and so, would you mind tossing it up? 98% of the time they will, because they don't feel like throwing it back and they just toss it to you. Or if
Yeah.
you're just standing there, just say, what I usually do is when I walk in, I'll go to the outfield, or I kind of go to the outfield, and I'll say, hey, you guys, how you doing? Good luck today. I'll obviously have the visiting team stuff on, because it's a lot easier to get the visiting team. It's a running joke now, because left field, they know me at Royal Stadium. They always see me at the visiting team stuff on. If I ever had Kansas City on, their heads will probably explode. So I'm in like the decked out red jersey, the Tiger stuff. But anyways, yeah, you got to just have the visiting team stuff on, learn the players' names. Eventually, you'll start getting those bullpen through. You'll start getting, the warm up balls, or, BP, you'll start getting those home runs, or, if you stand certain times when, say batting practice is over, you run closer towards the dugout. A coach may look and say, hey, right here, hey, let me test out that gun. I don't have my glove up. Don't throw it over the net. They like, it's just a game. Make it a game, make
Yeah.
it fun. And, sometimes if you're standing there with the hat, I had a Cleveland Indians hat one time at Royal Stadium, and the guy saw me and he like launched it and threw it straight to me. And I wasn't even expecting it, but it was just because I was just standing there and I
Yeah.
wasn't asking too much. I'm not one of those people that keep bothering the guys, but I
Yeah.
mean, you just gotta play it cool, just be by yourself. And I always try to approach it the nicest way, because people feel like they're entitled to get one. And it's just one of those things. It's just fun to catch it, and the guy threw it to you. He didn't throw it to anybody else. He threw it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point now. I just give them away to little kids. And so if I find a cute little kid, I'm like, here you go, take it.
That's awesome, because that was gonna be my next question. How do you avoid the puppy dog eyes from a little kid that is like, man, my dreams always get a baseball, and it's probably a good feeling at least when you do that for sure.
Well, now here's the thing. If I've seen them before and I know they're there, I will not give it to them. Because you start seeing the same people over and over.
Yeah.
So one little kid, I know it's dad, and he has thousands of baseballs. So if I ever took one from him, I'm not going to feel bad, because I know
Yeah.
it's dad. And I'm like, no, but I mean, you usually can tell if like you're like a little baby. I'm like, here you go, take it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. I'm like, have fun.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's really cool for sure. So, well, that leads us to the next piece, man. And I with all this ball hawking, all this collecting, man, let's see some of the collection, and uh kind of where you got them from and what you did to get it.
Oh, I was going to show you a picture really quick.
Yeah.
So, it was against the A's like 2 years ago,
Okay.
and this kid, it was the A's. It was Mike Fires. He threw up the toss up. I was filming that day, and it was a little kid standing next to me. I said, "Hey, I'll give it to the little kid," and it was the best thing ever. I took a picture with him. They sent it to like his family. I gotta find this picture. I mean, it was the best thing you would ever saw. And I mean, I'm just looking goofy as ever, and this little kid's very cute, and
Yeah.
it was hilarious. I was like, "Here you go, little man," and he was just like, it was just exciting. If
So
I
that's when
can't find it,
Fires was still pitching with the Athletics then.
yeah, here you go. Here's the picture.
That's awesome, man.
I'm looking goofy, but they sent it to there's like, can we send this to? I was like, sure, take a picture with me, it's fine. But I mean, it was just hilarious. I was like, I'll tell, like, because everybody was waving. I was like, hey, I pointed to the kid and I had my glove up. He threw it straight to me, and I was like, hey, can I take a picture? He's like, yeah. And I just handed it to him, and then it was just a fun story.
That's awesome, man. And see that I think that right there alone is got to be gratifying, because I went to school after we graduated to be a teacher, and
Mhm.
I actually taught kindergarten through fifth grade for a few years in computers, and so I always kind of have like a soft spot for kids. Coaching, I coached
Mhm.
little kids football. I coached high school baseball, so I completely understand like how that is a gratifying feeling, especially if they are wanting it because they don't have that opportunity all the time. So
Mhm.
I think that's cool, man, what you did with that. So but yeah, let's hear some stories, man. I'm looking forward to this. Like let's go first one. What is your favorite? Like which one was like your like awe moment, like holy smokes, how did I get this? Or like, man, this has got to be the coolest ball I've ever gotten, up to the entire time I've been doing this?
So 2 years ago in 2019, the Royals played the Tigers. For some reason, the Tigers are a lot of the things. My dad's from Detroit, so the Royals played the Tigers, and they played them in Omaha. So that was the first ever game, major league game in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So we have Ball Hawk Fest, and so that's when a whole bunch of us get together to catch baseballs. I know it's a thing.
That's awesome,
So
man.
it's funny. So this ball was a commemorative ball that was played, and I got the future Hall of Famer Miguel Cabrera to sign it on the sweet spot.
Man.
So this ball is probably worth some money.
Hell yeah, it is.
I mean, he's at 492 home runs right now. So any home run he hits, they're collecting it because he's probably gonna hit 500 this year.
Yeah.
And so I think this is probably his last year in his contract or something like that. So
yeah,
that's probably my most prized possession. This doesn't see the light of day at all.
Yeah.
It is
most
kept
definitely.
in the dark. It is kept in the dark, and that ball's not going anywhere. So yeah, that's kind of my most prized possession. I mean, I didn't get the ball necessarily at the game, but I bought it at Kansas City, and I was like, I really want to get Mickey. I don't want anybody else to sign it but Mickey. And the night he came out, it was like 10 of us. We all lined up. Somebody in Spanish asked him to sign for us. Mickey gets it. Mickey's a collector himself. He understands the hobby.
Yeah.
Some of those players, like Josh Donaldson, for example, I have an autograph of his. He gets it. He understands the hobby. He signs. Josh Donaldson loves if you give him stuff. So he's one of those guys as well. But Mickey, complete, just top-notch athlete. I love that guy. He signed that, sweet spotted it. Didn't even have to ask him. Thank you. But yeah, that was probably my favorite one. This one is Alex Gordon.
Man, I'm jealous of you for that one, man.
So my wife and I went to the game. They were playing, I forgot who they were playing. It was Royals charity night. It was this year. I just got it. I haven't got Alex the whole time he played. I've been chasing him. I haven't got him the whole time. I got him when he retired. How does that happen?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
It was Royals charity night, and my wife's like, I think that was Alex Gordon when he like walked past us. I was like, oh, that is Alex Gordon. That ball was thrown up by a bullpen guy. This kid I know, he missed it, and I caught it. I was like, do you want it back? He said, no, just keep it. So I had a ball. I didn't even bring anything. I just had a ball. I had my glove. And it was when they were playing Angels. And so I waited. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask Alex. If he says no, he says no. I walked up there, and I was like, hey, would you mind signing? He said, yeah, sure. He signed it. I said, how's retirement? He said, it's good. He said, I'm having fun. And he's just chilling. So I chased Alex Gordon. So it was awesome.
Man, that's awesome. You know, that's by far one of my all-time like Royals guys. And you know, it was just incredible he was one that like we could follow for the entire tenure of his career. And obviously we got to see him be a Royal for his entire career. And I think that's what's significant is the fact that he's doing it. And I think, you know, we'll see a few more. I think Salvi could do it. Duffy, we talked about. And so some of those guys, their autographs are a little bit more meaningful from that standpoint. And so I think that's awesome, man. So you've traveled to a few stadiums, well, a little bit more than a few. What is your, I guess, biggest one from an away stadium that you've gotten?
So I haven't really got too many autographs from away stadiums because it's usually my wife or my family and I go, and it's just more just to go visit. Now, I did go back to Milwaukee's kind of my favorite stadium.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Miller Park Magic is what I call it. I've been there 2 times. We're about to go a third this year. And I mean, something special about going in Miller Park. I know it's American Family Field, but Miller Park and walking around there and the fireworks going off when they hit a home run and, you know, Lorenzo Cain in center field and, you know, Christian Yelich. It's just something special. And, you know, I love that place. Cincinnati is an amazing place as well. They have a place called the Fry Box, and you could put barbecue brisket, cheese, and, you know, get a lemonade, and it's like $7. It's cheap.
Wow.
It's cheap. It's cheap, man. I love it. And it's over the river. I mean, Cincinnati has an early BP too, as well. It's called the Hall of Fame tour.
Yeah.
And you pay $10. You get in there 2.5 hours early.
Wow.
The Reds aren't even on the field yet for BP. And that's where you can put up some numbers is with the Reds. I mean, they're just left and right, just hitting home runs. And Great American Ballpark's not that big.
Yeah, that's a
And so
sandbox.
it is. It's not that big, and so you get plenty of baseballs there. People love it. I mean, that's a ball hawk's dream to be there. So,
Yeah.
yes, but yes, Miller Park is one of my favorites, and then Cincinnati's a close second. I'm trying to think. I've been to Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, um, the old now Globe Life Field, and
Yeah.
now I'm gonna go to Globe Life Park in next week actually.
Texas.
Next Sunday I'll be there.
That's
I've been to
awesome.
Houston. Now the cool thing there was they let you have so you buy your drink, and then they have soda fountains everywhere, and so they just let you refill your drink. You don't have to be bothered. They just let you refill your drink there.
What is you need more in that fan experience log for
Dude,
the
I know.
Royals,
I'm like,
man.
dude,
Holy
I know. It was
smokes.
sick. It's sick. It's just like they're like, it's just open. You're like, okay, once you buy a drink, you just fill your drink. You don't have to get bothered by nobody. And it's just open. I'm like, what? I mean, it's awesome. One thing you can do, which I didn't do, which I should, is whenever you go to a game, go by the guest experience office to get first game certificates. I should have collected those. I didn't do that, but
Yeah.
that's something you can do to kind of commemorate when you went.
That's pretty cool too. See, that's something most people don't know. So yeah, that's really cool, man. And you know, that's we have a my wife and I, we have a he's getting ready to be 2 years old, and that's kind of something that I want to be able to do with him as we get older, is to at least say we've, you know, encompassed every Major League Baseball stadium. Just because I think that would be such a cool, you know, I've seen people who actually have like maps, and they like, you know, put stickers and things. Like, you got it?
I got one of them.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I
man?
got one of them all.
That's
And
awesome.
the ballpark app will even tell you how many ballparks you went to. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
sick.
my light. Yeah, it tell you how many ballparks you went to and how many teams you saw.
Okay.
So doing that's another one. You take pictures. So like when I went to Minnesota, it shows me like when I took pictures and stuff, and
Wow.
when I check, you check into the state. Yeah, like this one, I was at Target Field, and I sat in some pretty good seats, and it showed me the score, and so hey, you can go back. So say you didn't put it in, you can go back and it'll find the exact game and everything.
Wow, that's pretty cool. See, and I think, you know, I'll kind of geek out on you a little bit now. So, you know, like I told you, I do another channel, and it's stock related.
Mm-hmm.
And NFTs are starting to become a big time thing, you know,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
non-fungible tokens. And what you just showed me right there is easily going to be translatable to a non-fungible token. I mean, those NFT experiences, like that right there was it. And that's what they're trying to accomplish, man. And I think that's what's going to be such an incredible experience, because those can be also live, and you could sell them, you can trade. I mean, there's so much that's going to be, so that's awesome to at least see that, man. And I think that, you know, as you continue to go to other stadiums, that'll be that'll be even cooler. So have you gone to any of the real historic ones like Wrigley or Fenway or anything like that?
I've been to Wrigley.
Okay.
It's just as advertised, just this majestic. As soon as you walk in, you're like, wow, you're like, oh my gosh, you see the ivy on the wall. I mean, we went during the day of, obviously, they don't play very many night games, and of course in Chicago it rained, but we're kind of under under the stands, and so,
Yeah.
and then they had like an old school scoreboard under. So yeah, Wrigley was very cool. It's a nice place. I mean, you had to walk under and get the food, and they had all the toppings for the Chicago dog. And I've been to, obviously, the guaranteed rate Kaminsky is what they call it. And they had kind of the best like atmosphere because they were like DJing music, and it was very cool. I
Yeah.
mean, it's some like the south side of Chicago, man, it's nothing like it. And they were just jamming. I'm like,
That's
what is this? I mean,
yeah.
it was fun. It was very fun.
So when you, because you say you wear an away jersey when you're at Kaufman, do you wear a Royals stuff when you're on the road? That way you're standing out, or do you try to blend in with the home fans?
Oh no, I'll wear their wear stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I am that guy because I saw the Blue Jays like 15 times that one year. I wore Minnesota blue. I wore any. I look up the teams beforehand, and I wear accordingly.
Yeah.
So the one time I'm gonna wear Kansas City is when they're playing in Texas on next Sunday. I'm gonna wear actually Kansas City stuff, and people are gonna be shocked.
They're gonna be like, "What is he doing? What is he
Like
doing?"
what? Speaking
Yeah.
of that, I got this autograph in Texas from Hunter Dozier
Nice.
when he was rehabbing, and Hunter Dozier, hopefully if he ever hears this, he's the nicest guy. you'll ever meet. I wish that guy mad success. I'm so glad he got a giant contract. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He always stops to sign. He cares about the fans. Him and Scott Barlow, those are my two favorite players on the team, and I want those guys to do so well. And
Yeah.
they're just the nicest guys ever. I like them too. I love both of them. They're just the best.
See, and I think that's what, there's different sides and I guess sides and different views from how fans endure a game and endure a team. Like, there's some people that are just very critical because of how they perform, and they don't really take into consideration like the players that are on the team. And in this aspect, like you named a couple. I mean, we know how Danny Duffy is within the community. We know
Oh
how
yeah, super nice guy.
yeah, we know how certain people are, and it's like, you want success for these guys, but you understand it's also a competitive sport and things like that. But I love to hear that too, just because they are human beings as well, and they do live normal lives outside of baseball. And it's just awesome to hear that they're good people. And I'm a big fan of Hunter Dozier as a person. I really am. I wish he would figure it out at the plate, because he's been struggling as of late for sure. But I definitely want these guys to do well from a personal standpoint, just because it's you're your hometown team as well. So, but yeah, man, I think that's absolutely cool. So you got a Scott Barlow one then, I'm assume too then.
So yeah, I have a funny story about Honey Dozier real quick. So he signed this picture for me. I'll show you real quick. He signed a photo. He came up to me first and signed it. And that Monday they went to the Oakland to the Angels, and that's when he hit like 3 for 3. Like that's when he killed it. That's it. And he was just like super nice. I'm like, hey, that's when you do better when you talk to me. He came right up to me first and signed. I was like, that's what I thought. And then one time his OPS was like 666, and I was like, he better fix that. And he hits a home run. As soon as I tweeted it, you can look it up. It's in the receipts. You can look it up when I tweeted that, and he hits a home run, and everybody's like, yep, you called it. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, for some reason I say something, he does better. It just cracks me up.
Well, you better start breaking bats and sacrificing chickens to get that guy rolling.
And Scotty B right here, nicest guy, man. He signed my picture one night. I mean, it was a Friday night, nobody was signing. I walked over to his car. So the Royals, they park on the outside. He was driving out. I was the only one standing. He rolled down his window. I was like, hey, you got me something to sign? I was like, oh my gosh, he stopped. He signed. I was like, thank you so much. He's like, oh, it's no problem, man. Thank you. I was like, no, thank you. Like, just super good, dude.
That's cool, man. And that's a clean autograph with the blue, man. I like that. That's really cool.
Oh,
Have you gotten any of the young starters like Singer or any of those guys?
okay, I will say this, and I don't care if they hear it. Those young guys, don't get me started on them. They think they're hot shots, and they walk past you. Oh, I get you. No, like those guys think they're hot stuff, and they don't want to stop. Or maybe I just catch them at the wrong time, but they just act like they're big hot shot players, and I'm like, whatever. And I was like, that's why you're doing bad. But maybe that's just me being a little bit of a hater. But I don't want injury to them, but I'm just like, doing bad.
No, I got you, man. I can, for some of them guys, it's like in Singer's position, it's his second year, and he was starting off okay, and now that he's struggling a little bit, I could see why he's probably, a little flustered, just because he's trying to get it figured out, and it is big leagues, and there's always that chance he could get sent down. So I can understand some of the pressure, but I agree with you, man. It's not that hard to autograph a baseball, and it's not going to really take any more time out of your day than just to come over and say, hey, and sign a ball. But
or just,
yeah, man,
just acknowledging, like some of the players don't even acknowledge you. Like we'll say, hey, like you'll be surprised if you ever, I'll take you with me one day if you ever want to go.
For sure.
And I mean, you should film this. You'll be surprised how it's like a well-oiled machine that we got going on. You just go in and you go early. So like Sunday mornings, you go there like 7:30 in the morning. And you go, and some players will start showing up around 8. And I mean, you know whose car is coming in. You say, hey, good morning. How's it going? They're like, oh, it's going good. You got time to sign? No, I don't. Okay, well, you have a good day. Good luck. Everybody's super nice. Nobody's ever clowning any of these players. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're just the nicest people to them. And some of those guys sell, which I understand why they don't sign all the time for them, but I mean, some of the guys will just stop all the time. Some I just say hi to someone. I'm like, hey, how's it going? But it's just crazy to me how some of them don't even acknowledge us. They'll just walk past us. You just say, hey, I don't want to sign today or
Yeah.
something. Like just like Brad Keller's a really nice guy. He'll just say, hey, I'm not, I don't feel like, or hey, I'm running late, and that's fine. I have his autograph on the baseball as well. He
Yeah.
stopped one night for us, and I have a picture with him too, which was, and he was an extremely nice guy. He pitched one night. I mean, I think he did pretty well that night. It was a couple of years ago, and I mean, Brad Keller. I mean, he stopped for us and said hi, and I was like, okay, I wish you Matt success and everything. I mean, Brad Keller's a cool dude, and I wish him Matt luck. He's not having the best season this year, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
some of those guys just don't acknowledge you at all, and that's the part that really makes me upset.
No, I completely understand that. So when you do that, do you ever, do they ever have the opportunity to see the away team, or are they funneled into like a tunnel where you don't even get that exposure of them getting on a bus or anything?
So with that, the away team, so you know how Kaufman and Arrowhead, there's a
Hmm.
little tunnel. So
Yeah.
if you ever I don't know if you volunteered with us in high school. We actually go in that tunnel. We used to
Yeah.
do like alcohol.
Yeah.
Somebody used to sign up volunteers. So what would happen is with that, we would go under that tunnel. That's where they go. That's where the visiting
Yeah.
team goes out, and then they just drive them out of there. But when they're traveling, they have the buses parked out on the gates towards left field, and so all the buses are just lined up. And so I got Cole Tucker one night on the sweet spot because
Yeah.
they're all out, and he super nice guy too as well. I was like, I like that Cole Tucker guy, cool dude.
I think
And
I saw you get that one. That was really recent because that was when the Pirates
the
were in
Pirates are
town.
in town. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cole Tucker came by, and I was like, hey, Mr. Tucker, would you mind signing? He's like, sure, that's no problem. I mean, Cole Tucker just cool dude. I mean, it's just crazy, just the opportunities that you have when nobody's out there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the same 10 of us,
Yeah.
and we're just all out there just trying to get autographs and just, I mean, so sooner or later, I start giving them away to people because a lot of people can't make it out there like I can.
Yeah.
And my wife's understanding, and she's great at letting me get some autographs, and I like to get them for people's birthdays and stuff because they can't make it out, and so.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's really cool that that you do that for sure. And that you even have the opportunity to do that because there are a ton of people who don't really have that opportunity. But yeah, I was gonna tell you one of my stories. We had the privilege of going down to spring training this year. My
Oh
wife's
man, I would love to go.
Yeah, my wife's sister lives actually in Surprise and lives like maybe 4 blocks from the stadium. So we went there and went to 2 games, and um so we took our son, and he's running mad crazy around. Oh, that's sick. He just pulled up, huh?
Yep.
That's
And
awesome,
then
man.
I got one more. I'm gonna let you finish the story.
Yeah.
Where's old boy? And I go ahead and I'll tell you the story. Go ahead.
So yeah, so we're walking around, and concession guy comes out from the back of the tent, and he sees Maverick running around, and he's like, "Hey, tell that little guy to come over here." So we're like, "Okay." So we go over there, and we were gonna get lemonade anyway. So we go over there, and he's like, "Hey, how old are you?" And I was like, "Well, he's not even 2 yet." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Do you think he can catch?" And I'm like, Probably roll it to him." Pulls him a brand new BP ball, and I'm like, "Dang, we didn't even have to do a whole lot to get one of them." That was pretty sick. And then just the whole experience, I think, it was still like pandemic time, so the players weren't signing or even getting close to the fans, which kind of stunk. But I think one of the coolest aspects is just how chill it is, in spring training, and like just the experience itself of players just, they treat it like it's just kind of an everyday thing. And I think that was really cool. So I definitely want to go back and get the true experience when there's not a global pandemic going on.
Oh, absolutely. We were gonna go, but obviously before everything. We were gonna go. We had tickets and we couldn't go because I wanted to get Eustakis's jersey. I have been Eustakis jersey I need to get signed, and a Trevor Bauer jersey I want to get. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to get signed, and so I had it planned out to the TO house on to go to these stadiums, and thank you pandemic, it hits, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
That's
So
one person that I would love to talk to as well, is Trevor Bauer, because I watch his YouTube channel,
oh
and
yeah.
man, that guy, he's so good for baseball. It's very pro, like the fan and like the player, and like I love Trevor Bauer. And it was, I always didn't like him when he was with the Indians, but as I've seen him like come out of the Indians and really express like what was going on, I'm a huge fan of Trevor Bauer. I think he's absolutely cool. So that'd be sick if you got that jersey for sure, man.
And I got him on a ball already. I'm just need his jersey.
Yeah, that's
I'm
see
I'm
that
so close. So
that's
close. All
incredible.
right. But what I was gonna tell you was I got Mr. Ned Yost
Oh,
for the
nice.
baseball, and I got a photo with him as well.
There he is.
So it was when he left. It was the last couple of games he left. He just knew he wasn't gonna get bothered anymore. So he just every night after the season, he just signed. He's like, I'll sign for you guys. I know I'm not gonna have to do this anymore. And he just signed. And so I think I got him on a photo too as well. Ned just understood. I mean, yep, I got him right here
There he is.
on the silver marker. So Ned understood, man. He just understood. He was a nice guy. I wish I would have got to talk to Ned more, but Matheny. I don't know if you ever seen Mike Matheny up close.
Uh-uh.
He's a tall guy. He is a big muscular guy. He doesn't look big on TV, but he is. I got
Yeah,
him on that photo too as well.
that's sick, man. I'm a big Mike Matheny fan. I really am. Like, there's
Really
some
good
people.
dude.
Yeah, there's some people that aren't just because of him coming from the Cardinals, which I understand, but I'm a huge Mike Matheny fan. You can see he's a player's coach, and I just think that he's tremendous for this organization. I hope that even though they're losing, that he can stick around for a while and kind of see this through fruition because I'm just a huge Mike Matheny fan. I really am, and I think he's going to be incredible for the organization. But we'll see. I mean, it is a business, but yeah, I would love to just talk to him or not. Just hey, how's it going? That would be incredible. So
He usually, honestly, if you go there, like you need to go there one night on like a Thursday night or something when they're, before Friday series. He comes out. He's one of the last ones to come out. I mean, he'll sit there and talk to you for a minute. He just walks around, no rush. I mean, this dude wears, jeans and flip flops, and he's just your dude. Drives a truck. I mean, it's just it's like, who is this dude? I mean, just big, strong. Cause he still looks like he could play. I mean, he keeps himself in shape, and I'm just like, he's just talking to you. I was like, man, you look better in the picture. He's like, what is that? And we were just laughing. I was like, he's just a
yeah,
good guy. Just a
yeah,
really all around good. I like that guy. I'm a fan of his.
that's awesome, man. That's really cool. So any other stories, man?
Yes. I know I got the infamous hated Angel Hernandez.
Oh man, I might have to edit that out. I'm just kidding.
Man, even though people hate him, he is the nicest dude ever.
He kind
Like,
of has to be.
dude, no, seriously. So I collect empires. Nobody else does. It's weird. Nobody bothers empires at all. Nobody bothers them. I mean, those guys just walk out and nobody messes with them. But Angel's walking out, and I was like, I gotta get his autograph. I just think it's the funniest thing to have his autograph. Nobody else owns it, and I think it's funny. It's gonna be worth money someday, and I don't care. Nobody says. I'm telling you. He walks out. This dude's eating ice cream and has a cowboy hat on. Like, I'm like, what? Like, cowboy hat, eating ice cream. I was like, would you mind signing this? So he takes it out of his mouth, has somebody hold it, signs it, and I was like, all right, man. I was like, hey, thank you. You cracked me up. He's like, oh, no problem, man. And he just walks off. I was just like,
That's
I'm
awesome,
like,
man.
this dude. And then I got Joe West too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh,
Joe West,
Wild West Joe.
Wild West Joe, man, he understands the hobby. He was signing like how many games he did because he broke the record,
Yeah.
and he just understands the hobby. I asked him, I said, where are you going next? He said, I'm going to Milwaukee. And then I was like, so he was like, people always ask me where his favorite stadium is. I was like, I can't tell you that. And so, I mean, he just gets the hobby and just,
Yeah.
just an old dude walking around. And so, I mean, he's a cool guy. One thing I forgot to mention. So the extended netting, you can't get umpire balls anymore because the umpires used to throw baseballs out at the
Mhm.
end of the game. You can't get that anymore at the netting. That
Yeah.
stops. It completely stopped it. And so that was
Yeah.
another chance for you to get baseball. And it's like, oh,
That's
so but
crazy. Have
it,
you
it
ever do you have anything from Salvi?
I do not. Salvy's one part. Salvy, Solaire, or like I haven't got anything. I've been chasing him for months and I haven't got anything from him. And I
Do
know
they
people that got him like 20 times.
well, that would be a question. Do they just walk right in or do you even see them when they come in or
Uh-huh. So yeah,
they
with the
just
Royals Park, they won't walk past people.
Yeah.
Salvi, I just haven't caught Salvi at the right time yet. That's all.
Yeah.
I'll eventually get his autograph. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll eventually get it. So and
Yeah.
Solaire was so it seems like the nights where the Royals are like it's like a Tuesday night he'll sign. It's like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But a night he doesn't say a night hits 2 home runs he won't sign or something. It's like what? It's like I thought you'd be happy that night.
Well, that's a
Um,
rarity nowadays, so you probably could get his autograph more often.
exactly. I got Wit. I managed to get Wit somehow.
That's
It
my dude.
was Wit, man. Him and his little Porsche. He was driving, and it was just me and this girl. We are just standing there. I let her go first because I'm the guy, and I was like, "Hey, go ahead, go first," because I was saying I was like, "Hey, go ahead," and then he was like, "Okay, sign for me," and then everybody started running. He was like, "Bye," and just drove off. So I was like, I'm telling you, man, you just got to show these guys are like, I try to show them that I'm nice and I'm
Yep.
not here to sell anything. And
Yeah.
these guys will sign on, they'll sign for you and then they just drive off. And it's just crazy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I would love to experience just the experience with you sometime for sure, man. We'll have to do it because, I would just love to see just the engagement and things like that. Cause, I think that would be incredible and it would just be a blast, man. That would be so cool.
I'm debating on, so I got my GoPro right here, the first generation GoPro. I might film one night of me going out there and showing how to get autographs. And I might do that. I think that would be fun to do
Yeah.
because people be like, "What are you doing?" And it's just because you start planning. You're like, okay, well, if so and so comes out here, okay, this person came out Ubered one night, like Josh Donaldson Ubers. You're like, okay, this person Ubered one night, or this person did this last night. You start talking to people that went the night before. Who like Ronald Acuna Ubers, and like certain players don't take the team bus, and it's just like what? I mean, it's just like a whole thing. It's a whole different community.
Yeah. Because I know
And
Trevor Bauer, at least in his YouTube videos, I don't know if I've seen him take a bus.
he
I
takes the
know
bus sometimes, or
sometimes.
depending on how close the stadium is. I mean, Trevor's one of those guys you can really get around. He's more accessible than
Yeah,
a lot of
because
other
he
guys.
just showed his video from his Pirate when they were in Pittsburgh, and
Absolutely,
he walked, and the fans are coming up like Trevor, and that I thought that was really cool. And he's always trying to do it for the blog as well. So I think
absolutely,
that's awesome.
absolutely. I want to meet Rachel. I think she's probably interesting as well.
Yeah, for sure. So
Chalupa.
yeah, let me ask you this, man. So if you could get any autograph with current Major League Baseball, who would it be?
Hmm. Probably Tatis.
These
Yeah.
the
He
Padres do
just
come into town, don't they?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. They were supposed to come last year, but obviously the pandemic.
Oh
Tatis would be
yeah.
one. Tatis would be one, and Vlad Jr., but Vlad was
Ooh,
hard. Vlad would
yeah.
have been. I almost had it. I was so close, but Vlad would have been a good one. I mean, I've gotten some guys I've won at me. I mean, Mickey, that's a definitely big one I wanted. Tatis, Vlad are
Yeah.
all going to be around for the next 10, 15 years. So, I mean, I got more chances, but
Yeah.
Tatis would definitely be a guy I definitely want to get. Oh, I have a quick story. So, Hosmer, I'm going to tell you, I caught my first foul ball. So, my dad and I were going to the game. We were running late, and I was so mad because I'm one of the first, like, to be one of the first ones there. It was the bottom of the first inning. We were walking. I went the wrong way. So our seats were like lower. I walked the wrong way. I walked through, so the top row, we walked through the top row. He was like, my dad's like, Hosmer, it's a foul ball. I turn around, the ball hits the top row, top part of the stadium. I can't think of today.
Upper deck.
Upper deck, yes. Bounces and hits me in the hand. I didn't see the ball, I was like, I caught it. And I like looked and everybody started clapping. And it was like, you're just walking to your seat. And it went straight to me. It was destined to come to me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Like my glove wasn't out, nothing. And I literally walked and it literally bounced. It went straight to me. Like I didn't have to even, it hit me right here. And I was like, I caught the ball. I mean, it was the craziest thing you've ever seen.
And then from there,
It was destined to be mine, bro. Like I was like, what? So that was probably the best moments I ever had. And people like, I was like, no, this ball's not going anywhere. It's mine.
that's
Like,
awesome.
so I was like, it was crazy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, my first foul ball came off of Mike McDougal,
Oh,
and he was
whoa,
actually
that's a throwback name.
yeah, and he was actually facing Frank Thomas. I was sitting like 4 rows up, right behind they over the dugout, first base dugout. We got down there late in the game. We were actually losing the game, so we were able to get down there, and the ushers just didn't care. And I'm sitting there, and there's this older guy sitting in front of me, and Thomas fouls one off, and it hits like probably 3 rows in front, ricochets up, and then it sets. And I go to dive over the chair to get it. Well, this guy, older guy, is diving too, probably because he realized Frank Thomas was up there. And I'm like, it's just a foul ball. And so I'm diving on this ball, and he like grinds my hand in the concrete. And I found a way to like get my hand around it to where even though he did that, I could still get the ball. Came up with it, man. And I actually still have it. So I have like a wall of balls over here from like my playing career, but also like, some of the ones that I've gotten. And it's sitting over there, the first Major League Baseball I've ever gotten. So yeah, that's probably one
Is
of the coolest ones
is
I've
that
ever.
Bud Selig or Robert Manfred?
It was Selig.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and that I'm sure that, well, that probably is a little bit more meaningful to some. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I always thought that was
Uh-huh.
cool that they put the commissioner's name on there. I think that's
No, no, that's why I was asking. That's really cool, man. That's definitely worth, sentimental wise, I've caught it, catching a ball and you're just like, you have a story behind it. It may not be worth anything, man, but it's always a story that you
yeah,
can now you can pass down to your son. And you're like, hey, I caught this ball from, Frank Thomas,
yeah.
and that guy's a Hall of Famer. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, and when you sent me those pictures today too, I was looking, and it's like, some of the stamps that are on those balls have such a tremendous meaning. Like, that All-Star game, some people may never even see an All-Star game at Kauffman, and like you have a ball that has the stamp on there, and then, obviously like the 50 years, and there's some balls that you have that I think are pretty significant, just in meaning for being a fan of baseball. So I think that's pretty incredible too.
Oh yeah, those yeah, I like the commemoratives. I mean, there's the Angels have a 60th this year. Um, the Atlanta Braves had 150th, and I think it was one more, and I can't remember. But that's we like to go chase those. And certain nights they will have, like the Twins had a Joe Mauer night, and it was just one night only. They'll use it. Something like this where it's a one night ball. You'll never get that ball again.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just a hobby. I mean, it's just fun to collect those. And I mean, I don't have a Bud Selig ball. I mean, there's just certain balls I don't have. Like I'm
Yeah.
chasing a 2018 Florida spring training ball, the Arizona. I have 18, 19. I have 20, which I think I showed that one, but I don't have. They did like this was 20, and I have a
Yeah.
Florida one. My Florida one's in my case, but they didn't do 21. They didn't do anything this year.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Like I'm trying to collect every year, and I'm going back years to collect more, and
Yeah.
just try to complete the collection.
So the real question is, and this will be my final question, do you have enough room for all these balls?
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna have to build another house for it. I don't. It looks like I have a lot. I just kind of condensed them, and I put cases on them, and
Yeah.
I have where I caught them at different stadiums, and you know it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. And
Yeah.
my collection, I have these two. You see those Royals buckets right there?
Uh-huh.
Those are full of baseballs.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I mean, but I mean, like I said, I give some away. I've given some autographs away. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I'm trying to get like some really good, like just quality stuff now. So that's kind of the goal.
Yo, I completely understand that, man. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I know this won't be the last, man, because this is absolutely an awesome, awesome experience. And, we're going to get caught up for sure, man, because,
Oh,
we,
absolutely.
we obviously graduated together, and, I want to get back into it for sure. So we'll have you back on the show, most definitely, just to keep talking. And,
Oh,
uh,
definitely.
so I thank you for coming on this episode, and we'll be getting ready for the next one. So, do you have any final words for the people?
Hey, follow my boy. I'm shouting out another channel. His name is Baseball Road Tripper. Tony. Tony is an amazing guy. You should definitely interview him. He's a good interview. He
Okay.
has tons of stories. He has a Miguel Sano bat the day I went there when he hit a game winning home run. I mean, it's a complete crazy story. I mean, Tony, you're talking about me. Tony has a crazy collection about baseball. So you'll like to talk to Tony. I'll tell him about you. But
Awesome,
yeah,
man.
follow Baseball Road Tripper. Subscribe to him. Subscribe. He's trying to get to 1,000 subs right now, and so he's giving away a Shohei Ohtani bobblehead
Whoa,
to
that's
get to
incredible.
1,000. Yes, he's trying to get Shohei. He's giving out Shohei Ohtani bobblehead if he gets to 1,000 subs. And so I'm trying to get people to sub to his channel. He's a
That's
very good
awesome.
dude. You'll like him. But I had a lot of fun, and thank you so much for putting me on the show. I cannot wait to get back on. Hopefully, we can film us getting
Yeah,
autographs or catching baseballs. And I'm gonna film more on my YouTube channel as well.
awesome, man.
Once I get that up and going again. So yeah, thank you again. And yeah, well, this definitely won't be the last time.
For sure, man. If you want to let them know your socials too, like your social media, so they can go over there and follow that.
Follow me at Yost Malone on Twitter, Yost Malone one on TikTok. My TikToks are semi funny, so I post some stuff, and
Man,
I
they're
don't
funny.
know.
I was watching some of them. They're funny.
They're all right, but yeah, just follow me on there, and but yeah, that's it, and let's have some fun. So
Awesome, man. All right, guys. Well, you have a good rest of your evening, everybody, and I appreciate you checking in and watching the Beat of KC. As always, have a good day.